Oh, actually, wait, no, I can record. Hold on.
Oh,
I
yay.
think it's recording.
Voila.
There you
That's fan
go. Yeah, I'll save you the trouble.
fantastic. All right, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So when you go into command, you're actually going to go to campaigns.
Okay.
That's where we'll start. We'll start right off the bat. Um, I may backtrack out of this because my thought process, and I'm going to have to see how this works. We might actually have to go into designs and create the actual design first, but I'm going to see if it lets me create it through campaigns first.
Oh,
So,
okay.
because I don't know, are you familiar with campaigns at all? Have you clicked around in here at all
I've
yet?
I've done with the campaigns mainly with my emails. So I mean, I've
Okay.
sent out, yeah, probably. I'm trying to get up to my 5,000 emails for command because it's big, right? So I'm trying to send out as many emails as I can. But I use campaigns for that. So
Okay. All right. Good. So at least you have like a rough idea of it. For today, for what we're doing now, you'll see paid ads. That's where we're going.
okay,
And you'll see I've done a couple examples, when I've taught command and things like that. When you have a campaign, it's going to show up here. This is like your main dashboard. And it just gives you the same basic info that, like Facebook would give you when you run a campaign. So it'll give you the campaign name, preview image, the status, duration, CPM, CPC, and CPLC. So that's, CPC is like cost per click, CPM is like cost per lead. Um, so it basically gives you, it'll tell you how many people have, viewed your ad, how many people have actually clicked on your ad. If there was an
right,
action taken, it'll show that. And then your total spend. And then everything else up here is pretty self-explanatory. It just gives you kind of like an overview of, total impressions, total leads, all that over whatever time period you select.
right.
Um, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. And then you can just sort depending on what campaign type, what your goals are and what your channels are. So,
Okay,
yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new campaign.
right,
And you can create campaigns for any of these. So, today we'll do a social ad. We'll do a paid social ad.
right.
And as you click on this, it's going to be the same kind of step-by-step process for specifically for a paid ad, it's going to be the same process every time. But even for some of the other ones, like if you were to do a social post, whatever, it's the same kind of functionality.
Okay, great. Yeah, this looks fun.
Um, yeah. So you know what? So we'll do, like I said, we'll kind of create a test on my end. So I'll just call it. You can give the campaign a name, so you can call it whatever you want. So uh,
And this is just for my purposes. It won't show up on the anyone else's feed.
yeah,
Is yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're in my command now, so anything that I post, I'm not going to actually run it or anything like that. But yeah, as you're going through this yourself and creating it, nothing's going to get posted until the very end, until you hit run this campaign. You can always go in and edit and tweak and do that whole thing
Right.
up until you run it. Yep. So let's just do. I'll do today's date. Wednesday test campaign. That's just so you can know what the campaign is. As you get more campaigns, just makes it easier to be able to sort that. So then it's going to ask you what your goal is. You can change this later on.
Hmm.
It For the most part, no matter what you pick, it's going to give you the same kind of basic functionality. But this is the part where I think it's going to be a little different because for the most part, I usually tell people if you're running an ad, you probably want to advertise something. So it's usually a safe bet to just do advertise listing.
Okay, good.
But depending on what it is, it changes the functionality a little bit. So today I'm going to go a little off the grid. I think we want to try event awareness.
Okay,
So we'll click that. And then at the bottom, you have to select where your campaign will run. This
good.
is just my 2 cents across the board. Don't ever bother with Twitter. It just gets lost and eaten up. Instagram, yeah, it depends. But overall, Facebook for real estate is still your best bet.
And
Best
I have
bang for your buck.
right, and I have my
Mhm.
separate business account with Facebook. I don't think I have an Instagram business account, so it's just a personal one. So
Yeah, and you know what? Some people run the ads on their personal, some run them on a business page. It just depends on you and what you want to do.
okay,
But as we go through this, at the end, you'll be able to select which Facebook page you want it to go to.
okay.
So if you actually wanted to run it on both your personal and your business, you could. So it'll give you that option.
I guess it reaches more audience. I guess maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's either way. Like I will admit, it usually reaches a pretty substantial audience regardless. So because it's pulling, it's going out to the same people regardless. It just, at the end of the day, it just depends on where you want to bring them back to. If you want to bring them back to your personal page or your business page.
Gotcha.
So, yep. So we'll do Facebook and we'll hit set up campaign. And so it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. I'll walk through everything here. The nice thing about it, you'll see it, we're literally just going to go down the list here and pretty much complete everything that it's asking.
Okay.
So name and goal, this is exactly what we just filled in. Like I said, if you ever want to change that, that's where you would go. You can change the name, you can change your goal, and then just click save name and save goal. So nice thing is once it's all done, you'll get a nice checkbox. That means you're good to go.
Great.
So in this case, if we were adding a listing, like if you were advertising a listing for this, you could actually just click add a listing. I'll just show you this now. You can pull up, as long as it's entered into the KWLS or the GSMLS, it'll feed into here. So if you personally have any active listings, it'll show automatically, or if you click this drop down, you can select any listings from across the country.
And so if I'm doing an open house and I want to advertise it out to my folks, that's a great way of doing it. Yeah, too.
Yep.
That's great. Okay.
The nice thing, and you know what, I can click on one just to show you an example. I can just delete it. So if I select a property,
yeah,
you'll see it automatically.
Look at that. Wow.
As you click on these boxes, it will pull in any of that info that's already been entered into the MLS. So great. Like, any copy will automatically pull in. Same with the pictures. You'll be able to pull whatever the listing photos are. It makes it that much easier. So honestly, you could run an ad in 5 minutes and be done.
Wow. So that's great.
This is the part that I like to sell Command with, because this is ultimately what it's good for. It's making life easier with stuff like this. So
yeah, that just populated instantly. That's great.
Yeah.
Of course, you could get permission. So if you're doing someone else's open house, you'd have to get permission to advertise. Yeah,
and that's usually my rule of thumb. Always just reach out to them first, just to confirm. But at the end of the day, almost everybody that I've talked to, they're more than happy, because they get business from it. You get business from it. It's like a win-win. So yeah,
kicking myself for not doing it on all my open houses.
Honestly, but you know what I will say, even after today, even after we do the one that we're going to work on, if you have one, just run an ad. Don't spend a ton of money. Spend, the most they ever really say to spend at first is $30. And that'll get you about 10 days worth of advertising. But even if you want to spend $10 and just run a test ad and see how it goes for you and see what kind of response you get, it's always worth it, because then you can always tell other, potential clients and things like that. Yeah, I run Facebook ads. I know, I do that. And, you'll be able to see how it actually works.
Dylan says that's how he starts. He does $8 to $10 ads, and he'll put them in different places to see what kind of tracking he gets. And then he kind of gets a little more aggressive after that once he sees it.
Yeah. Because, for example, and this will be the case for the paid ad that we create today. It's, you may get a better response with one photo over another, or you may find that, something in your description is calling more attention. You could run 3 different ads to that point at the same time, see which one performs best, and then put more money behind that one. So it's it's actually kind of fun to play around and see what you get. But yeah, so check it out. In the meantime though, I'm gonna just go ahead and remove this listing. I might just start over real quick. Yeah, I'm just gonna completely start over just to make it easy. Event awareness, Facebook. Okay. So yeah, in this case, we're not going to select an actual listing, but basically we'll just create it from scratch. So again, I don't know if you want to create this on your end, if you want me to try and create something on my end, or just walk through like an example.
Well, yeah, just put breathwork is great for you, whatever. I have the text kind of in mind of what I want to say. But I mean, I'm curious to know, so we're limited to those 250 characters too. So, I mean, was there a recommendation you'd make to go, is there a comfortable recommendation?
Yeah, and actually the nice thing about this part of command, they actually tell you what they recommend, which is about
Ah,
125
well,
characters
there
or
it is.
less. Yeah. But even put it this way, like, like I feel like I always say this stuff on the calls, but like I worked for a marketing agency before. And in that case, it's the same idea for anything you do on here. In my honest opinion and what I've seen in the past, shorter the better. So if you can get your message across in 125 characters or less,
Right.
that's ideal. You can definitely go over. The only reason they suggest that is because you'll actually see up here at the top, this is what your ad's going to look like. So
Okay.
as you update all of this copy and the photos, it'll show you your ad right here as you build it out.
Right.
And at the top, you have the option to see the different views. So you can see what it'll look like if someone opens it on their laptop and what it'll look like on mobile.
Hey,
Yeah.
yay, super.
So really the character limit is more of an issue on mobile just because of the size. So if you can get your message across, the shorter the better. But here, I'll just start typing something. The ad will run, and here is the copy. Whatever, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up.
Great.
Yeah. So that is where the copy is going to be.
Great.
And I'll kind of explain everything else as we go down, but I'm just going to go in order here. So copy next is going to be headline, and your headline is going to appear obviously right here.
Okay.
So, in this case, if you want people to come to the event, I would do like, title of event and encourage them to come.
Right. Call to action.
Yeah, which actually you'll see as we go down, there is going to be this call to action, a link and a button. But it doesn't hurt to repeat that up here because that's the headline. That's, it's like writing 101. You want something that's going to grab their attention. So
right.
Snappier the better. And again, 40 character limit. I would be more concerned about the headline because you don't want the headline to get cut off. It's probably okay if the main copy gets cut off a little bit. But headline, definitely try and keep that into that, 40 to 50 character limit because you don't really want that to get cut off.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And then now under that, you'll see description. So this is, I'll just show you where this types in.
Okay.
Now the thing with this, and they also tell you this as well, so the description will get cut off in some places. It really just depends on how it's served and what, because everyone's Facebooks, for the most part, they look the same, but, some people can customize them and, so it depends on how the ad is served, whether or not they get shown this additional copy.
That's interesting because how would you mean? I'm looking at this script right there, and how do you fit 250 characters in that small little space?
I mean, you'll see, it'll extend it down.
Oh, it does. Okay, there it is. Okay.
But eventually, you're going to reach a point where it does cut off, and it's going to give you that ...
Oh, like a see more thing. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's literally, see those, 3 little dots there. Yeah. So I would put it this way. I would put the most important point that you want to get across should go in the main copy. This additional box can just be, something else like, maybe like the date and time or something of the event, or, or something even like, tell all your friends, something like that, something along those lines.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Then you just hit save ad text. As long as everything's good, you'll get the checkbox and you'll be able to see it here. So next we'll go to add media. And if you click configure, again, this is a pretty simple section too. You can add an image or video. I'm going to admit I haven't played around with the video part of it yet. But let's put it this way. If you wanted to, I'm just assuming and I'm just guessing based on kind of what I know about Command. If you want to do a video, it probably has like a limit of 30 seconds or less.
Okay.
Again, I haven't done that yet. Or if you want to do like an animated, like a animated GIF, I can never say it, GIF video, those will kind of rotate. They'll play on rotation. They're maybe 10 seconds long. You could also upload one of those as well.
Okay. But if I had an image of, like, let's say the guy who leads the teacher and instructor, would that be something I would put in that image right there? With like, or
Yeah. So if you it'll look something like this. Yeah, it'll look something like this. So if you hit select media for this campaign, you can, again, if it's for a listing, it'll pull through automatically. Or if you want to upload your own image, you have the option to do that here. Or again, this is that part where I said if you want to create something specific, you might be able to, you can do it in the design library.
oh,
So if you want to actually create that social post in the design library, you can click on this.
look at that.
And it'll take you to your library if you already have one created, or you can create a new one.
New template, yeah. That's what I do, yeah.
Yeah, but now see what it did? It actually kind of kicked me out of it there for a second.
Oh.
So my advice to you would be, if you want to create that design ahead of time,
first, yeah.
Go into design first, create it, save it, and have it like good and ready to go. Because if you have to go back and forth between, campaigns and designs, it might kind of boot you out like it did for me just now.
Okay.
So my advice, save yourself the trouble, create the design first and have it ready to go.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. Or actually, I don't know, have you ever heard of Canva by any chance?
I have up on my bookmark. I looked there. Yeah, the designs are interesting. I think, but I wasn't quite sure. I'm having some more familiarity with Command rather than Canva. So
okay, yeah, good. Yeah, Command. Canva is basically just it's a similar functionality to like designs. It's basically another platform you can create, social posts and stuff on.
I've already started
I go back
with
and forth.
So yeah, so when I looked at Canva, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to learn another.
It's actually it is actually pretty easy. I kind of wish, I don't know if I'd be allowed to teach a class on it. But I've used it in the past and stuff too. And I've used, I to be honest, I use it now for some things.
Well,
Just
it's
because
certainly been talked about a lot, so
it's not too hard. It's the same functionality as designs. But if you're comfortable with designs, just create it in there because it's going to make your life a hell of a lot easier right now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So let me go back into
sorry, you got to start it all over again, don't you?
I think, hold on, it might still let me back in. Let's see if yeah, okay, back to creator. Okay, it did let me go back.
Right.
Good. So yeah, so again, you can either upload, or if you have that created in your design library, you'll just click this, pull it from your design library, which actually, you know what? I'll just show you an example. I was goofing around with this last night, so it's just a sloppy social post, but let me pull it through anyway.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll load. Honestly, that's fair because it wasn't really the best example. This might be I need to pull one that's an actual social post. This was a social post, I know that. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Because actually, you might also want to make note of this too. If and when you create create your image in designs, make sure that you choose one that's a social post, that's a social design, and it'll actually tell you, you'll see a button at the top. There's different size social posts. Always pick the one that says social square. Just because that's going to make sure that it's the correct size, it's a perfect square. So regardless if it shows on a laptop or on mobile, it's going to size accordingly. So,
gotcha.
So for example, this one here, I know for a fact it's a social square post. So just good to know. And I think, yeah, that'll just make it a little bigger. So yeah, once you have that ready to go, we'll hit preview and crop. this box that it just opened, this will be the case anytime you run a paid campaign like this. When you're selecting your image, whether it's being pulled from a listing or you're uploading it yourself, you'll see that there's a drop down at the top here. Always select, again, this was that advice that I just had, always pick square.
Gotcha.
Because it even tells you best for most placements, and you'll see that it fits the design perfectly.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about that.
That's easy enough. Yeah.
Yep. So you'll hit save image. It'll drop it right in there. And the nice thing is, if you want to run a couple, if you have a couple designs that you want to run, you can just run one. You know, it doesn't matter. But if you want to do more, you can click add more. And same thing. I think you can add up to maybe five different images.
Okay.
I think 5 might be the limit. And again, no personal recommendation on that, because sometimes you can see if people are clicking on one image over another, you know, it'll give you a little bit of that additional detail. So it doesn't hurt to have multiple images. If you have them, it'll automatically rotate through them, I think like every 3 seconds or every 5 seconds.
Okay.
So just good to know.
That's great.
And then the only other thing that it will require, it's going to require you to have your office logo.
Right.
So that's essentially what this is. If you click, let's see. Yeah, like for example, on my end, it makes me, I have to upload it automatically.
I have it on my
So
computer already, so yeah, I can drag
perfect.
it. Yeah, I can drag it right over.
Okay, yeah, like I have mine. Hold on, I gotta get it, because unfortunately it does require you to upload it.
For compliance, yeah.
Yep, but you'll
There it
see it just pops in as just a small little
Right.
logo. You can make it left or right. It's up to you.
Cool.
Yep. And so that's it for the media. And you'll just hit save add media. You're good to go. Now the last two, so channel options, Facebook ad, we'll hit configure. And this is where you'll have the option to decide what page you want to post it to. So as long as you have your Facebook already set up with command, it'll show in here. If you don't already have it set up, when you get to this point, there will be a button that will allow you to connect it. So you'll see it's going to be mine. And then this is a dumb example, but I was helping a friend a couple years ago, and so I still have his old pages on here. So for the purposes of this ad, I'm just going to, you know, drop it in. And as long as it's good and approved, you'll see that this will turn green. So, so we'll be good to go with that.
So let me ask you a question, Sam. Since my Facebook business page is associated with this, I guess you have to have a business account necessarily to post this Facebook ad.
You just have to have a personal account, and then as long as you have that business page, like for example, like I only have my personal account, but I have these pages under it. I don't pay anything for them. I don't do anything fancy with them. Just happens to be either pages that I've created, or like in this case, I helped my friend create them, and I'm like a co-admin of it, or however you want, or a co-partner on that page. They should automatically drop into here. So yep. So then pages, so then destination. So this is where, in your case, it's going to be a little different. Usually I get to this point and I always tell people, select the use Facebook lead generation form, which is going to be a good example if you're doing it for like an open house or a new listing or something like that. Because the nice thing with that is if you select that option, A, it's a little bit easier, but B, anybody that clicks and fills out that lead gen form that Facebook provides, that information will pull and feed into your contacts here in Command. So it'll show.
So that would be better than to use than Eventbrite to get for them to get tickets or something?
Well, no, because you know what? In your case, I would actually say we would use this other option. So use a site or a landing page, because in that case, when they basically what it'll be is they'll click on the ad or they'll click learn more, and it'll take them to that Eventbrite page that you create, getting them to sign up. Because Eventbrite will also collect their information as well. So at the end of it, you'll be able to just take whoever signs up for that and enter them into command yourself.
Okay.
So yeah, but in this case, because it's an event, because you're doing it this way, I would recommend doing a site or a landing page.
Great. Very good.
But any other time, like I said, if it's for a listing or a property, use the lead Facebook generation form. It's actually really simple. Basically, all it'll do is when they click learn more, a box will pop up. They'll enter their info, and it'll go right into your command, and it'll show that they're a lead from Facebook.
That's great.
So in this case, I'm going to click use a site or landing page. Again, pretty similar functionality between the two. You can decide what you want the call to action button to be. So it can either be learn more, sign up, contact us, apply now.
Right.
I think those are the only 4. So like in your case, you might want to do sign up. And then you can either enter a destination URL, which this is where I would say to enter the Eventbrite link when you create it. Or you can choose a landing page. So you can create a separate landing page here in command. Which essentially is, a landing page could be anything really. If you wanted to, you could create your own landing page for this, but to be honest, it's usually just extra work. Especially in your case, since I think it's better to drive them to Eventbrite. But just good to know for down the road if you ever want to create a landing page. And I'll walk through how to do that in here on a command class in the future.
Okay, cool.
So to get to the last part, it is going to make me type in a URL. So in this case, let me do my website, I guess. I don't even know. Hopefully this is what it is. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Looks like it was good. Whatever URL you put in, you want to make sure you get that check mark because it won't let you move forward unless you have that. So,
okay, good.
And then now for the last step, step 3, ad targeting. So what it's going to do is basically, depending on your location, where you're at right now, or if you pull in a property and it's for like a specific zip code or something like that, it will automatically target to that area for a radius of about 20 miles. However, if you want to change that, there's a button here that says use custom settings. And if you click that, that's where you get to start being a bit more specific and targeted with this.
Great.
So you'll see that you can either target the people in your database, which usually I tell people, you already have the people in your database. Don't really worry about them. You want to get the new folks. So I would usually select target a custom audience. And then location, obviously, that's probably going to be the United States. Now, if you want to change the town, you just have to click the X box first and then type in whatever you want. You usually have to give it a couple seconds, but then you can click and select a different area.
Right.
Radius, I think you have to have, a minimum of 15. And I think the maximum radius, if I'm correct, is 50.
Okay.
Maybe 40. Let's see. I think it's 50. 50. Yep. So you can select those. And then the last one is expert targeting. So if you click add or change interests and click that open, you'll see that you can then target it based on specific interests. So for example, if you can either scroll down or you can search, but like if you wanted to target people in real estate, I think I just saw it. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff for it. Real estate, which gives you an audience of almost 500 million people.
Are those real estate brokers or real estate agents or not? Sorry.
That's just going to be anybody that's kind of shown or expressed interest in real estate. So that could be, like, for example, if someone's clicked on a link, someone somewhere on Facebook has clicked a link to Zillow at some point, it's going to show that, hey, they've looked into real estate. That's why you'll see that it's a really big audience.
Right, absolutely.
So it captures a lot of that stuff. So when you're doing this, I would target real estate. You might have someone, in a particular area. Like if I was to type in wellness, I don't know if that's going to come up with anything. It's not showing, but Let's see.
Maybe health. I don't know. Health.
Yeah. Let me try that one. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't search the best. So I hate to say it, you might be better off actually just scrolling down the list,
Sure. Yeah.
because I bet there's one for wellness. I'm almost positive. Oh, maybe not.
You're not.
Still
All right.
web design. Well, I would just go down the list. You know,
We'll
if you
find some.
want, you can target as few or as many as you want. Either way, you're still going to get people. You're still going to get a response regardless.
Absolutely.
Just helps if you want to narrow it down a bit. So in that case, just for this example, I'll just add one just so we have one. I'll just do accounting. You would hit save selection. And like I said, it will show you that target audience. So we'll hit save Facebook ad. Again, all good. We got the checkbox. Last one before I go to the last option, which is duration and budget. Again, just double check to make sure your ad's appearing how you want it. You'll see that it pulled in once I selected that page. It pulled in that image and name. It will show that it's sponsored because you're running it through command, so it will show as a sponsored Keller Williams ad. Oh.
Oh.
What it do?
Oh.
Of course.
It'll come back.
I'm not worried. No.
Oh.
Actually, it's really fine because we made it to the end anyway. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing again. I'll show you the last step.
Okay. Oh,
yeah. Because I wasn't gonna run the ad anyway, and pretty much the next, that was gonna be the last step anyway.
The duration and budget, which
duration and budget. Yeah. Which is pretty self-explanatory. The date you want to run it. Again, 10 days is usually a good rule of thumb. To Dylan's point, I agree. Anywhere between 10 and 30 bucks. Maybe start small with this, run it for 10 bucks, see what you get, and then increase it later. So if you want to change that budget, you can do that here. It'll show you how much you're spending per day. Basically, you'll hit save, you'll get the checkbox, you'll be good to go.
Keep tracking that in the campaigns then too.
Yeah. So then I would make sure you hit save as draft. Obviously, you've seen what happens. So good rule of thumb, even as you finish these, just go up and hit save just in case.
That's a good idea. All right.
And then basically you'll hit publish campaign. It will open up another box. I don't know if I have, I can actually just show you on one of these real quick, just so you see it. Yes, I want to leave. And then, you can always duplicate a campaign, edit a campaign, delete a campaign.
Great.
That's all good. Configured. Let me just do this one, whatever. Oh, oops. Oh, today's the 9th, that's why. Okay. So when you hit publish campaign, you'll see that I don't have a credit card set up with my command yet. So if you don't have it, this will be the moment that you can add it. And then basically you'll hit create campaign. And typically it'll start running, like if you create it today, it'll start running tomorrow. So it usually takes about a day to run it, just because it has to be approved through Facebook and all that other, all of their stuff on their end.
Since everything is under this format already, there's no compliance issues or anything like that. It's already kind of built in, so we don't have to check with Bev or anything on that.
No. Yeah, you should be good because that's the nice thing is it's coming through command. So regardless, it's already basically, approved and formatted and all the good stuff. The only little compliance issue again is going to be making sure that you have the office logo. And it's going to require you to have that regardless. So
great.
Yeah.
Yes. This is so helpful. Now, and this also helpful for me to move ahead on open houses too. Now I'm kind of excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what my page is doing. It's just kind of doing its own thing right now,
Oh
but
my God, how many times I've set up designs and lost them. When I hit the X or I lose a design, I forget that I did that a
uh-huh.
couple of times when I was designing emails. I was like, no.
Yeah, for as often as I don't have much really saved in mine. All of mine are kind of these stupid test examples that I do when I teach a class, but yeah, my advice, save every couple minutes. Just
Yeah,
cover your
it's a
butt.
great idea. Oh, Sam, I can't thank you enough. This was immensely helpful. It's
Yeah,
great.
no, absolutely. Let me know how it goes. Cause yeah,
I
you
will.
know, it's unfortunately it's one of those things I wish I could see. You know, I've helped other people create ads. I almost wish I could see them, like find them as I'm on Facebook, you know, and be able to respond to them myself. But either way, when you set it up, you know, let me know how it goes.
I will. Hopefully I'm going to get something out tonight, if not by tomorrow. But because I plan on being, are you doing Command Thursdays tomorrow?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And actually
Cool.
tomorrow I just got off a call before this. I've mentioned it multiple times, but there's that app called PySync,
Yes, you did.
and yeah, and it's finally up and running again. So I think
Oh,
tomorrow I'm going to change my plan a little bit and spend time
nice.
talking about that,
That's
and
cool.
just walk through how to do that.
Oh, I
So
forgot to ask you. Did you find out how to bulk remove tags? Did anyone ask you?
yeah, yeah, you can't do it yet. It's not a feature yet. Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot to follow up with that, but yeah, I did find out you can't. Yeah, it won't let you do that.
Yeah, I've been doing it.
It's something they are going to add, but unfortunately they haven't added it yet.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
go figure.
This is great. Well, this
Yeah,
gives me more than enough to work on for tonight, so that's great.
good, good. I'm glad.
Awesome, dude. Thank
All
you.
right,
I'll see you tomorrow at 2 then, hey?
sounds
All right.
good. I'll be
I
there.
owe you a drink. I'll buy a margarita when it's safe and appropriate. All right.
That don't even worry. I'm looking forward to that day. Until then, I got enough liquor at home to keep me occupied. So,
Good, man. You're
all
well.
righty. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Peace, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yep, yep. All
Bye.
right. Bye bye.